Coming to this problem number 4 in projections of planes. Problem number 4 in projections of planes. First, write down the given data. So the given data, if you observe, in maximum problems, when the surface is inclined to both the planes, one inclination will be given directly as a surface inclination, and the second inclination will be given as an edge inclination or diagonal inclination. An edge inclination or diagonal inclination. So here in this problem, a regular pentagon of 30 mm side having its surface inclined at 35 to HP. So means theta is 35 degrees, and this is related to surface inclinations. The surface is inclined at 30 degrees to HP, and a side parallel to HP. So clearly given a side parallel to HP. So it is a problem based on a side inclined at an angle of 50 degrees to VP. So side inclination is related to 5 and is equal to 50 degrees. Surface inclination is theta, 35 degrees, and side inclination is 50 degrees given in the problem. So first draw XY line. Draw XY line and identify the surface inclination first. The surface is inclined at 35 degrees to the HP. So as the surface is inclined at 35 degrees to HP, first assumption is make the surface parallel to HP. Make the surface parallel to HP. Forget about the second inclination. Forget about side inclination or diagonal inclination. Only consider the surface inclination. The surface is inclined at 35 degrees to HP. First, make the surface parallel to HP. When the surface is parallel to HP, we can view the true shape in top view. So we start the top problem with top view. So in top view, we must draw the pentagon. And pentagon etla draw cheyali? It is a problem based on the surface, based on an edge. So based on the edge kabatti, the first in the pentagon orientation, we must draw the surface with one of the edge perpendicular to XY line. So we must draw the top view as a pentagon with one of the edge perpendicular to XY line. So follow the process which I explained in the last class for drawing the pentagon. Complete the pentagon. Name the sides as A, B, C, D, and E. The 5 sides of the 5 corners of the pentagon. Next, project all is. So observe the problem. Here it is given as the side is parallel to HP, not resting on HP. If you observe the previous 2 problems, it is given as a side is on the reference plane or the corner is on the reference plane. But in this problem, it is stated as one of the side is parallel to HP. Means we must project all these points to a height above the XY line, not on XY line. But because it is not on XY line and the distance is not given, so take around 2 to 3 centimeters distance, 20 to 30 mm distance. So project all the points from top view. Project point A, C, E, A, B, C, D, E, all the points. Next, draw a horizontal line at a particular distance. Name the points A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, and E dash. A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, and E dash. So this is a position when the surface is parallel to HP and one of the edge AB. Edge AB is parallel to horizontal plane. The condition is satisfied. Next condition, surface inclination. Always first we have to consider the surface inclination. The surface is inclined at 35 degrees to the HP. given as the surface is inclined at 35 degrees to the HP. So redraw this line with 35 degrees inclination. So some may take around this point and draw a line inclined at 30 degrees, 35 degrees, and mark the initial base point as A1 dash, B1 dash, A1 dash, B1 dash. Measure the distance from A to C. Measure the distance from A to C. A1 as center, draw an arc. This point is C1 dash and sorry, this is the point D dash. Is it? A dash, B dash, C dash and E dash, and this is the point D dash. So here it should be E1 dash, and measure the distance from A to D. A as center, draw an arc to get the point D1 dash. Leave the remaining line with 2H as it is, only highlight this major line. Now after getting same as the previous problem, draw the projections from AB, CE and D. Draw the projections from AB, CE and D and locus from the previous view. That is a parallel line to XY line from A, B, C, D and E. Draw the parallel line to XY line from each and every point of the initial top view. Now mark the respective intersection points. So locus from A, projection from A1 dash. Name this point as A1. Locus from B, projection from B1 dash. Name this point as B1 dash. Next, C1 dash and C. It is C1. D1 dash and D intersection point. Name this as D1. Next, projection from E1 dash and E. Name this point as E1. Join A, B, C, D, E with straight line. AB, BC, CD, DE and EA. So with this, the first condition given in the problem is completed. That is, the surface is inclined at 35 degrees to horizontal plane. The surface is inclined at 35 degrees to the horizontal plane. So the next condition is the edge which is parallel to the horizontal plane is, or the side which is parallel to horizontal plane is inclined at 50 degrees to vertical plane. So always vertical plane representation is shown in top view. So first identify what is the side which is parallel to horizontal plane. The edge is parallel to horizontal plane. What is the edge? Any of you? The edge which is parallel to horizontal plane. Answer cheyandi. Identify the edge which is parallel to horizontal plane in this. Every answer chetla means you are not following. If you observe, so we are rotating the surface based on the edge. So initially we assume the surface is parallel to horizontal plane and we rotated this surface based on a edge. See this, the point A1, B1 are at the same distance from the horizontal plane. The point A1 and B1 are at the same height from the HP. So AB is the edge which is parallel to horizontal plane. Even if we say CE is also at the same height from HP, but CE, it is not a edge. CE are two corners of a opposite corners of a pentagon, but there is no edge joining CE. So AB is the edge which is parallel to the horizontal plane. Now this edge is making an angle of 50 degrees in vertical plane. So in top view, we must redraw this pentagon such that this entire AB edge is inclined at 50 degrees to vertical plane. So follow this process carefully. First, draw a 50 degrees inclination line to XY line. Draw a 50 degrees inclination line to XY line. Now, on this line, at some convenient distance, mark point and name it as A2. So A1, and next phase you are going to write it as A2. Now, measure the distance from A to B. Measure the distance from A to B. A2 as center, draw an arc to get the point B2. Now, AB is inclined at 50 degrees to HP. VP. Is it valid or not? Now the edge AB is inclined at 50 degrees in top view. Means the edge AB is inclined at 50 degrees to vertical plane as given in the problem. How to redraw the remaining figure? So use the compass method. Take compass. Measure the distance from A to E. Measure the distance from A1 to E1. So with A2 as center, draw an arc. Measure the distance from B1 to E1. Measure the distance from B1 to E1 with compass. With B2 as center, draw an arc. The intersection point is E2. Similarly, for the remaining 2 points, I am repeating. Measure the distance from A to C1. A1 to C1 distance measure chain. Set the compass radius to A1 to C1 with A2 as center. Draw an arc. Next, measure the distance from B to C. Measure the distance from B to C. B2 as center. Draw an arc. We get the point C2. Similarly, measure the distance from A to D. With compass, measure the distance from A to D. A as center, draw an arc. Next, measure the distance from D to C. Always take AB as the fixed reference points. Measure the distance from B to D. B as center, draw arc. We get the point D2. Now join all this with the straight lines. So here the concept is we are redrawing the same shape here. We are redrawing the same shape and size. Same mirror approaches, not just check whether these two are of same shape and size. Only thing is the orientation. The entire polygon is redrawn with the edge AB is inclined at 50 degrees to XY line in top view. As in problem it is given as the edge is inclined at 50 degrees to vertical plane. Now, coming to respect to front view. So, front view draw the projections from each and every point. Projection from A, projection from B, projection from C, projection from D, and projection from E. Means a line perpendicular to XY line. Of course, here it is not looking as parallel lines, but be careful. All these lines must be exactly parallel to each other and perpendicular to XY line. Next, draw the locus from the previous view, means a parallel line to XY line. From D C and E, AB. Now mark the respective intersection points. So be careful. మీరు ఒక చిన్న రాంగ్ ఇంటర్సెక్షన్ పాయింట్ మార్క్ చేసుకున్నా సరే your complete final output will be varied. Final answer will be varied. So be careful while marking these intersection points. So lettering is must for each and every corner. So projection from A2 and A1 dash. So mark this point as A2 dash. Projection from B2 and B1 dash. Mark this point as B2 dash. Next, projection from C2 and C1 dash. Mark this intersection as C2 dash. Next, D2, D1 dash. D2 dash. And finally, E2 and E1 dash. That will be E2 dash. Now join all this with a straight line with the same order. AB, BC, CD, DE and EA. So join AB, BC, CD, DE and EA. So you're going to get a pentagon, the final view of the pentagon in front view. So these two are the final projections what we require. So the pentagon in front view and pentagon in top view must be highlighted with HB, and the construction lines must be with 2H pencil, especially these parallel lines and perpendicular line to XY line. You must draw it with 2H pencil. And coming to dimensions, only 2 dimensions. Already we represented the 2 angles and the side of the polygon. Any one side we can represent. At the other side. So this is a way of drawing when the plane is inclined to both the reference plane. So ikkada varaku kuda same as the previous problem. Only variation is we are redrawing this figure as per the given condition. So the given condition is the edge parallel to HP is inclined at 50 degrees to the vertical plane. So first identify the edge which is parallel to horizontal plane. The edge parallel to horizontal plane is AB. It must be inclined at 50 degrees to VP. So redraw this edge, the top view, such that this edge is inclined at 50 degrees to XY line in top view. So top view representations always in relating to vertical plane, and front view relations always relating to HP. So you must remember this concept, the complete drawing, the drawing entire syllabus, you must remember this concept. Starting from points, we are discussing the same concept. HP relations with front view, top view relations with vertical plane. Now let us move on to the next problem. Problem number 5. Any doubts on the problem now? Do you understand this? I'm not getting any response, either yes or no. So any doubts?
No, sir.
సో ఉన్నారా లేదా కంప్లీట్గా ఆఫ్ చేసి వెళ్ళిపోయారా ఎక్కడో ఆన్ చేసి పెట్టేసి? I'm getting doubt whether you're listening to class or ఫోన్ అక్కడ ఆన్ చేసి పెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయారా పొజిషన్ నుంచి? జస్ట్ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి మాట్లాడండి. నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు నాకు వినపడాలి అంటే అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి మాట్లాడండి. నాట్ yes or no, at least you are understanding or not any doubts. మీరు ఇంటరాక్టివ్గా ఉంటేనే నాకు కూడా మీరు వింటున్నారని ఫీల్ వస్తుంది. అదర్వైజ్ నేను వన్ వే జస్ట్ ఏదో కెమెరా ముందు చెప్పుకుని వీడియో లెక్చర్ ఇచ్చుకున్నట్టు ఉంటుంది మీ నుంచి రెస్పాన్స్ లేకపోతే. అర్థమైందా లేదా చెప్పండి అట్లీస్ట్.
Yes, sir.
అర్థమైంది సార్.
No response, zero response. ఒక్కడు కూడా ఆన్సర్ చేయట్లేదు కనీసం.
ఎస్ సార్, అర్థమైంది సార్.
Okay, sorry. But it's my mistake. Audio zero lo undi. I don't know whether any of you have responded or not. Okay, now move on to the fifth problem. Identify the conditions given in the problem. So read the problem carefully and identify the conditions. So what are the two conditions we have to identify? Surface inclination and the second inclination. Differentiate those two. The main thing is we have to differentiate these two. What is the surface inclination and what is the edge or diagonal inclination given in the problem? Then we have to continue solving the problem. So in problem it is given as hexagon of 30 mm side has a corner in horizontal plane. So it is a problem based on the corner. Surface is inclined at 40 degrees to the horizontal plane. So the surface inclination is 40 degrees. So surface is inclined at theta, that is 40 degrees to the HP, and the top view of the diagonal. So instead of side, here it is given as the diagonal inclination. The top view of the diagonal passing through the corner on which it is resting makes an angle of 30 degrees with X value. So diagonal is inclined at 5 and the angle is 30 degrees. The diagonal is inclined at 30 degrees to vertical plane. So that is 5 value is given. So first step, draw XY line. And identify in which view you have to start the problem. The surface inclination is given with horizontal plane. The surface inclination is given with horizontal plane. So first make the surface parallel to horizontal plane. So in top view, you can see the true shape of the hexagon. In top view, we can see the true shape of the hexagon. And as it is a corner-based problem, we must draw the hexagon with two of its sides parallel to XY line. With two of its sides parallel to XY line. So I'm not explaining the process, how to draw the hexagon. Draw the hexagon, regular hexagon with all sides equal. Let the points be A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now project all the points to top view, front view. So front view project chesinapudu again read the problem. Is there any condition given? Its surface is inclined at 40 degrees to the HP, and the top view of the diagonal. Sorry. The regular hexagon of 30 mm side has a corner in HP. So the corner is resting in horizontal plane. So the front view must be on XY line. Initial front view must be on XY line. So draw the projections from A, B and F, C and E, D. Name these points as A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, and F dash. A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now, as the surface is inclined at 40 degrees to the HP. Redraw this line with the surface inclined at 40 degrees to HP. So draw an inclined line 40 degrees to HP, and on this line, first corner, name it as A1 dash. Measure the distance from A to B. Measure the distance from A to B. A1 dash as center, draw an arc. It is B1 dash. Measure the distance from A to C. A as center, draw an arc. C1 dash. Measure the distance from A to D. A as center, D1 dash. And these are also the points E1 dash and F1 dash. Now, draw the projections from each and every point from the front view and a parallel line to XY line from top view. Mark the respective intersection points. A1 dash, A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 and F1. Join all these with a straight line. So we'll get the hexagon in the top view. Second part of the problem. So when the surface is inclined to horizontal plane and with a corner A, on XY line. The condition is that is the surface is inclined at 40 degrees to XY line, means in front view. The surface is inclined at 40 degrees to HP with a corner on HP. Next condition is the diagonal passing through the corner on which it is resting. Identify the diagonal. So the corner on which it is resting is point A. The diagonal passing through point A, that is the diagonal AD. That is the diagonal AD. Read the statement clearly. The diagonal, top view of the diagonal passing through the corner on which it is resting makes an angle of 30 degrees with XY. So the top view of the diagonal means AD must be perpendicular, must be inclined at 30 degrees to XY in top view. So draw a 30 degrees inclination line to XY line. Draw a 30 degrees inclination line to XY line as the diagonal is inclined at 30 degrees. Now, what is the diagonal endpoints? A and D. A and D are the diagonal endpoints. So somewhere from this point, mark point A. So be careful. If you draw or mark this point nearer to XY line, you will get a path of hexagon overlapping with the XY line or crossing the XY line. So it should not cross the XY line or it should not overlap with the XY line endpoint. So take sufficient distance. Take sufficient distance below XY line so that the redrawn hexagon should not touch or cross the XY line. Why? Because the problem is only the first angle projection. So what it implies means if the plane crosses the XY line means it is existing in both the reference planes. So it is not such condition. A, measure the distance from A to D. Measure the distance from A to D. A as center, mark point D. So these are the points A2 and D2. Now copy the remaining points based on the distance from A and the distance from D. That is, measure the distance from A to B. Measure the distance from A to B. A as center, draw an arc. Measure the distance from D to B. B as center, draw an arc. Measure the distance from A to C. And this point is B do. Measure the distance from A to C. Draw an arc. Measure the distance from D to C. Draw an arc. To get the point C2. Similarly, A to F. A to F center arc. D to F. D has center arc. And similarly, the third point E. Final point. So in this way, redraw the hexagon. So redraw the same hexagon. Actually, these two are not looking the same, but be careful. So I'll get the same hexagon with different orientation. So now if you observe, A D2 is the diagonal passing through the corner A. A is the point on which the surface is resting. AD is inclined at 30 degrees to the vertical plane. Now draw the projection from all each and every point. Projection from A, B, C, D, E, and F. Draw the projections from each and every point from top view and the parallel lines from the previous front view. Mark the respective intersection points. A2 dash, sorry, one more line. B2 dash, C2 dash, D2 dash, projection from E, locus from E. E2 dash and F2 dash. Now join all this with a straight line. AB, BC, CD, DE, EF and FA. So you'll get one more hexagon. So actually it should be like this. You'll get a hexagon in this shape. So be careful, don't forget any point. We are starting with the hexagon. The final shape must also be hexagon, but with lightly compressed or changed shape. So మిస్టేక్స్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే మాక్సిమం ఎక్కడో చోట ర్యాండమ్ గా మర్చిపోతారు. ఇనిషియల్ హెక్సాగన్ తో స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు, ఫైనల్ దే గోయింగ్ టు రిప్రజెంట్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఏ pentagon or heptagon. So don't do such silly mistakes. Don't forget even a single point or don't mark any extra point. So in Kalane, at each and every stage, the lettering and marking points, be careful. Otherwise, you don't get the exact accurate shape in the final front view. The most thing is the final front view. So is it clear? Shall I move on to the next problem?
Yes, sir.
Next, coming to problem number 6. So I'm not solving this problem. I'm leaving it for you. Just I will explain the concept. I'm not explaining it here, and you try this problem and submit. A regular pentagon of side 30 mm has one of its corner on the VP. Its surface is inclined at 60 degrees to the VP. So the surface inclination is 60 degrees. And the edge opposite to the corner on the VP makes an angle of 50 degrees to the HP. Draw the projections of the plane. Try chestara. Will you try this problem? Problem number 6.
Yes, sir.
So just a brief idea so that we can continue. So initial energy it is given as surface inclination is 60 degrees to the VP. The surface inclination is 60 degrees to the VP, means 5 values given as 60 degrees the inclination to the VP. So make the surface parallel to VP. So when you make the surface parallel to VP, you can see the true shape in front view. So for the 6th problem, we must start the problem with front view as a hexagon. Front view as a pentagon. ఇలాగే డ్రా చేయండి. And is it resting on any corner? It has one corner on the VP. So corner on VP అన్నారు కాబట్టి project all the points onto vertical plane. Vertical plane మీద ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేయాలి. సో ఇక్కడ అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి, ఇక్కడ ఒక కండిషన్ ఏంటంటే రెగ్యులర్ మెథడ్ లాగా ఇఫ్ యూ రొటేట్ లైక్ దిస్, మీరు ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ డ్రా చేస్తే కనుక వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిప్రజెంటింగ్ ఈస్, వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ పాయింట్ A dash B dash. So this point is AB. Complete A and B, 2 points are on vertical plane. Is it or not? 2 points in top view on XY line means 2 points are on vertical plane. So 2 points vertical plane meaning ఏంటి? Complete edge is on vertical plane. 2 points మీద vertical plane or XY line మీద ఉంటే it implies the 2 complete edges on the reference plane. But the problem is only a corner is on the reference plane. Complete edge మొత్తం లేదు, a corner on reference plane. So అందుకని ఏం చేయాలి అంటే instead of rotating in this orientation, rotate like this. Means we're going to rotate tilting the object in this way. Means point D so that point D is on XY line. So read the problem చేసేటప్పుడు rotate the line in this orientation for the given angle. What is the angle? $60 degrees. So ఇక్కడ మార్క్ చేసినప్పుడు measure the distance from D. So D as a fixed తీసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి D2 ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ తీసుకుని DR సెంటర్ R, D నుంచి A డిస్టెన్స్ తీసుకుని DR సెంటర్ R డ్రా చేయండి. A నుంచి చేయదు. We are taking D as a fixed point and rotating based on point D. So D2 C distance measure చేసుకుని DR సెంటర్ R. Next D2 A distance measure చేసుకుని DR సెంటర్ R. Complete this. అలాగే finally the edge opposite to the corner on VP makes an angle of 50 degrees to the HP. So you draw just a rough cheptanu but you complete it. So we get the pentagon. Now the pentagon is resting on a corner D. Point D is on XY line in top view, means point D is on vertical plane. Point D is on vertical plane. So condition icharu, the edge opposite to the corner on VP. Corner VP resting point is, corner is D. Opposite to the corner edge. D ki opposite to the edge on the AB. Means the AB line makes an angle of 45 degrees with the HP. So ఇక్కడ కండిషన్ ఏంటంటే డయాగ్నల్ ఆర్ ఎడ్జ్ డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇవ్వకుండా ఏమి ఇచ్చారంటే కార్నర్ కి ఆపోజిట్ గా ఉన్న ఎడ్జ్, రెస్టింగ్ కార్నర్ ఇస్ డి, డి కి ఆపోజిట్ గా ఉన్న ఎడ్జ్ AB. This AB is making an angle of 45 degrees. So we should redraw with AB inclined at 45 degrees. ఇట్లా డ్రా చేయాలి. మీరు కంప్లీట్ చేయండి. నేను రఫ్గా చెప్పాను, రఫ్గానే కాదు మ్యాక్సిమం ప్రాబ్లం నేనే కంప్లీట్ చేశాను. బట్ జస్ట్ ఐమ్ నాట్ షోయింగ్ టు ద స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ ప్రాసెస్. కంప్లీట్ చేస్తారుగా? సో ఏంటంటే వాట్ యూ హావ్ టు అబ్జర్వ్ ఇస్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్. ప్రాబ్లమ్ టు ప్రాబ్లం చదువుకుంటే వెళ్తే నేను 20 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చెప్పినా 30 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ డిస్కస్ చేసినా ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ యూస్ఫుల్. సో ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్. సో ఓన్లీ ఒక లాజిక్ ఏంటంటే ఐడెంటిఫై ద సర్ఫేస్ ఇంక్లినేషన్ and make the surface parallel to that particular reference plane and identify to which plane we can view the true shape. HP ki parallel ga unte top view lo true shape, vertical plane ki parallel ga unte front view you can see the true shape. Then proceed with that particular condition. Next identify cheyalsindi orientation of the polygon, whether it is a corner based problem or edge based problem. సో ఎడ్జ్ బేస్డ్ ప్రాబ్లం అయితే ఇటు రొటేట్ చేస్తాం పెంటగాన్కి, కార్నర్ బేస్డ్ ప్రాబ్లం అయితే going to rotate in this line. So we have to decide to which direction we have to tilt the polygon, based on the edge or based on the corner. That is important. So only these two things, if you follow, the complete inclination to surface inclination to both the planes is completed. And even in examination you're going to get the problems lines inclined to both the planes, choice with surface of plane inclined to both the planes. So now suggestion ఏంటంటే plane inclined to both the planes is much easier. Why? Because you can view the shape and you can, the process is only with the simple 3 steps. There is no confusion. But lines inclined to both the planes, to understand or to imagine the line, a little bit difficult compared to this. So my suggestion is first concentrate on these projections of planes.
Sir, doubt. సార్ మరి XY లైన్ కి కిందకి మనం యాంగిల్ పెట్టి గీసాం కదా సార్, దాని మీద ABCD అనే పాయింట్స్ మార్క్ చేసాం కదా, అవి ర్యాండమ్ గా మార్క్ చేయొచ్చా లేకపోతే మెజర్మెంట్ తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళు చేయాలి?
ఇవే కదా దీస్ లైన్స్. సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి డిస్టెన్స్ D నుంచి C మార్క్ చేయాలంటే ఈ వ్యూలో D నుంచి C మెజర్ చేయండి. ఇక్కడ D నుంచి C డిస్టెన్స్ మెజర్ చేసి DR సెంటర్ R, నెక్స్ట్ DA డిస్టెన్స్ మెజర్ చేసుకుని DR R మీన్స్ ఈ లైన్ ని రీడ్రా చేస్తున్నాం. సేమ్ మెజర్మెంట్స్ ఇక్కడ అయితే రిలేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయో సేమ్ రిలేషన్స్ వి ఆర్ రిప్రజెంటింగ్ హియర్.
ఓకే సార్.
See the next problem, problem number 7. Draw the projections of a rhombus having diagonals 120 mm and 50 mm long, smaller being parallel to both the principal planes, while the other is 30 degrees to the HP. ఇది ఒక్కటే ఏంటంటే కొద్ది స్పెసిఫిక్ కేస్. ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ 2 యాంగిల్స్ 1 యాంగిల్ ఇచ్చారు. బట్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ స్మాలర్ బీయింగ్ ప్యారలల్ టు బోత్ ద సైడ్స్, స్మాలర్ బీయింగ్ ప్యారలల్ టు బోత్ ద సైడ్స్ అన్నారు కదా అని చెప్పేసి ఇనిషియల్ కేసులో స్మాలర్ డయాగ్నల్ ఇలా డ్రా చేసాం అనుకోండి. Initial case, no, either in top view or front view. Forget about the second one. As a smaller diagonal is given as parallel to both the difference planes డ్రా చేసాం అనుకోండి. దీని అదర్ వ్యూ ఏమవుతుంది? ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది. If you rotate this line, ఈ లైన్ రొటేట్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? The shorter diagonal is other view లో ఒక వ్యూలో షార్టర్ డయాగ్నల్ ప్యారలల్ ఉంది, బట్ ఇన్ సెకండ్ వ్యూ ద షార్టర్ డయాగ్నల్ ఇస్ మేకింగ్ అన్ యాంగిల్. సో అందుకని ఈ కండిషన్ ఏం చేస్తామంటే we'll start the problem based on the longer diagonal. Even though condition అసలు longer diagonal మెన్షన్ చేయకపోయినా we'll start the problem based on the longer diagonal. So first draw xy line. డ్రా చేసిన తర్వాత ద సర్ఫేస్ ఈజ్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ ఎట్ 30 degrees టు హెచ్పి. సార్ ఫస్ట్ ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనం కన్సిడర్ చేయాల్సింది సర్ఫేస్ ఇంక్లినేషన్. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఇంక్లినేషన్ ఉంది, సర్ఫేస్ అని మెన్షన్ చేయకుండా. సో వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ ఇంక్లినేషన్? ద ఓన్లీ వన్ ఇంక్లినేషన్ గివెన్ ఈస్ లాంగర్ డయాగ్నల్ ఈజ్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ ఎట్ 30 degrees టు హెచ్పి. సో ఇనిషియల్ కండిషన్ లో we must make the longer diagonal parallel to HP. Longer diagonal అంటే entire surface ని parallel to HP condition తో assume చేసుకోవాలి. As it is given 30 degrees to HP. So make it parallel to HP. So as the surface is parallel to HP, we can see the true shape in top view. We can see the true shape in top view. So first we must start the problem with the longer diagonal parallel to vertical plane also. So rhombus ఎట్లా డ్రా చేస్తారు? First draw two perpendicular lines of length 120 mm and 50 mm. 120 mm long line parallel to xy line and 50 mm long line perpendicular to this. Name the endpoints as A, B, C, D. The two diagonals, rhombus condition ఏంటి? Two diagonals perpendicular to each other and bisecting. So exactly AC ki midpoint lo we should get BD. AC ki mid lo center lo we should draw the BD. Join AB, BC, CD and DE. So first to discuss two problems. Problem number 4 and 5 are general problems. Coming to 5 and 6 are the general problems. So simple గా two inclinations ఇచ్చి డ్రా చేయమంటారు. 7, 8, 7th problem నుంచి with a different concept. Now corner on vertical plane కానీ on reference plane కానీ conditions ఎక్కడే ఉన్న problem లో. See the read the entire problem. Just diagonal inclinations condition they have given, but on VP, on HP, the conditions ఏమీ ఇవ్వలేదు. So the respective front view can be drawn at any random distance from XY line. So at any random distance, project all the points from top view. Projection from A, B and D, C. Mark these points as A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. Now the longer diagonal is making an inclination of 30 degrees with the horizontal plane. So the longer diagonal is AC. So the longer diagonal is making an inclination of 30 degrees to the horizontal plane. So redraw this line. So redrawing means first you draw any line inclined at 30 degrees. Draw any line inclined at 30 degrees. And mark the first point A1 dash. Next, measure the distance from A1 dash to B1 dash. A1 dash to B1 dash distance measure చేసి A1 dash as center arc cut చేస్తే B1 dash. Next, measure the distance from B1 dash to C1 dash. Or measure the distance from A1 dash to C1 dash. A1 dash center arc cut chaining to get C1 dash. As B1 dash and D1 dash are overlapping, you'll get both of them at the same point. Now, draw the projections from the previous view to the top view and locus from the initial front view, initial top view. Mark the respective intersection points. Locus from A1 dash, A1, B, B1 dash, B1, C, C1 dash, C1, D, D1 dash, D1. Join A, B, C, D, E with a straight line. So you're getting a rhombus, one more rhombus. Now we'll follow the second condition, that is the smaller diagonal is parallel to both the reference planes. The smaller diagonal is parallel to both the reference planes. So now what is the smaller diagonal here? Longer diagonal is AC 120 mm, shorter diagonal BD 50 mm. So now if you observe, this BD is perpendicular to XY line in top view. In front view, B and D are at the same height from the reference plane. Means the BD is parallel to XY line in front view, perpendicular to XY line in top view, which indicates this BD is perpendicular to VP, parallel to HP. E condition law, again BD perpendicular in top view. In front view, B and D are at the same distance from XY line. So BD is parallel to HP, perpendicular to VP, even in this second condition. So from this we have to draw the third condition, that is making this BD parallel to XY line in top view, means parallel to vertical plane also. Already it is parallel to horizontal plane, but in top view it is perpendicular. So we should redraw this so that it is parallel to vertical plane also. So redraw this same shape, means first draw a horizontal line. First draw a horizontal line, and on this horizontal line, a line parallel to XY line, mark point B. Mark point B. Measure the distance from B to D. Measure the distance from B to D. Be a center. Draw the arc. We'll get the point D2. So these are the points B2, D2. Now measure the distance from B to A. Same as the previous cases. How we redraw this shape? Measure the distance from B to A. Be a center. Draw the arc. Measure the distance from D to A. D as center arc. Next, this is A2. Measure the distance from B to C. Measure the distance from B to C. B as center, draw the arc. Measure the distance from D to C. With D as center, draw the arc. We'll get the point C2. So this is the point C2. Join AB, BC, CD. Just these two must be of same shape and size. Only variation is the orientation. In this figure, BD is perpendicular to XY line, and here the BD is parallel to XY line, means the BD is parallel to vertical plane. Draw the projections from each and every point. Projection from B, C and A, projection from D. projection from A. So projection from each and every point from the top view. And draw the locus lines parallel to XY line from the previous front view. And mark the intersection points. A2, A1 dash. Projection from A2 and from the previous point A1 dash. Name this as A2 dash. Next, B intersection of projection from B2 dash. So B2 and B1 dash. B2 dash. Projection from C2 and C1 dash. C2 dash. Projection from D2 and D1 dash. Join AB, BC, CD and DA. Observe in the final view. In the final view, the diagonal. What is the longer diagonal? Longer diagonal is EC and the shorter diagonal is BD. Problem is given as the shorter diagonal is parallel to both the reference plane. See the final condition? The shorter diagonal BD is parallel in top view and also parallel to XY line in front view. Means the shorter diagonal is parallel in both HP and parallel to both HP and VP. Is it clear? Is it clear? Shall I move to the next problem?
Sir,
Yes.
XY లైన్ పైకి A డాష్ B1 డాష్ D1 డాష్ C1 డాష్ అంతా ఇట్లా తీసుకో సార్.
ఇక్కడ ఏ ర్యాండమ్ హైట్ అయినా మెయింటైన్ చేయొచ్చు. ఏ కేసులో 1, 2 or 3?
1 సార్.
1. You can maintain any distance. Problem లో స్పెసిఫిక్ గా parallel అని ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు డిస్టెన్స్ parallel కూడా డిస్టెన్స్ మెన్షన్ చేయాలి. సో ప్రాబ్లమ్ లో డిస్టెన్స్ మెజర్ చేయనప్పుడు distance from HP or distance from VP, you can maintain any distance. And in major cases, projections of planes or projections of solids, they won't give the distance. So random minimum 2 centimeters maintain change, minimum 20 mm. So ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ డైమెన్షన్స్ రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాల్సి వచ్చిన ఓవర్లాప్ అవ్వకుండా క్లమ్జీగా లేకుండా ఉంటాయి. సో బెటర్ మెయింటైన్ ద మినిమం డిస్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ 20 mm from XY line.
ఓకే సార్.
Problem look in case if we mentions we should maintain the same height, otherwise no need. So let us move on to the next problem, problem number 8. A semicircular plate of 80 mm diameter. So read the problem. So it is a shape of a semicircular plate. The plane or the surface is in the shape of a semicircular plate. A semicircular plate of 80 mm diameter has its straight edge on vertical plane. Means semicircular plate now. This is the straight edge. So semicircular plate, this is the straight edge. So it's given as the straight edge is in the vertical plane and inclined at 40 degrees to the HP. While the surface of the plate is inclined at 30 degrees to the VP, draw the projections of the plate. Actually, this is also the same problem as the previous two problems, but the only thing is, it is of a shape of a semicircle. Now, first, what is the surface inclination here? Any of you? What is the surface inclination given in this problem? Surface inclination value given in this problem. Two inclinations are there. So main thing is you must identify the difference between surface inclination and the edge inclination. What is the surface inclination?
30 degrees.
30 degrees. Yes. The surface of the plate is inclined at 30 degrees to the VP. So surface inclination is 5. 30 degrees. So 45 degrees and the straight edge in the VP and inclined at 45 degrees. Edge is in VP and inclined at 40 degrees to HP. So that is edge inclination. Edge inclination is theta and the value is 45 degrees. So with this condition, first to draw XY line. Draw XY line and semicircular plate. As the surface is inclined to vertical plane, make the surface parallel to vertical plane. Make the surface parallel to vertical plane. So in front view you can see the true shape. In front view you can see the true shape. So you must start the problem from front view. So front view etla, it is resting on the edge. So edge based problem kabatti, whenever edge resting condition is given, you must draw that particular edge perpendicular to XY line in the initial view. Initial view lo edge resting or edge parallel condition eppudu ichina sare, we must draw that particular edge perpendicular to XY line in the initial view. So ikkada man initial view, we decided to draw it in the front view. Front view, the true shape is visible. So front view lo semicircle draw చేసేటప్పుడు with the edge perpendicular to XY line. So diameter line ni perpendicular to XY line draw చేసి, based on this diameter line, draw the semicircle. Draw the semicircle and name this point as A and divide this semicircle into 6 parts. We already did it in the involute problem, involute of a semicircle. ఎట్లా డ్రా చేస్తారు? 6 parts. Lines at every 30 degrees or the diameter end point radius తీసుకుని on horizontal line, vertical line draw చేసి A as center R. A as center R and B as center R. 2 arcs. అలాగే ఈ diameter end point తో 2 sides కూడా 2 arcs. So we'll get total 6 divisions. So 6 divisions ఎట్లా? First vertical, ఈ diameter place చేసుకుని we are constructing the hexagon. Sorry, semicircle. Next draw a horizontal diameter line which divides it into 2 parts. Now A as center. A as center, what is the radius of the semicircle? 40 mm diameter. So sorry, 80 mm diameter, 40 mm radius. So 40 mm to A as center, 40 mm radius R. B as center, 40 mm radius to R. E 2 points వస్తాయి. Next, E diameter line end point to same 40 mm radius to draw arcs on both the sides. So again, total 6 divisions of this semicircle. Name these points as D A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 6 points. Now draw the respective top view. So top view another, the edge is resting on vertical plane. It is given that the edge is resting on vertical plane. So the top view must be on XY line. So project all the points up to XY line and mark all the points. So all these are the front view, A dash, B dash, C dash, D, dash, and top view A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A to point G. Now, what is the condition given? The surface is inclined at 30 degrees to the vertical plane. The surface is inclined at 30 degrees to the vertical plane. So, redraw this line with 30 degrees inclination, means AD line. Redraw this line AD with 30 degrees inclination. XY line inclined ga draw a 30 degrees inclination line. Mark the first point as A1 comma G1. A1 and G1. Now, measure the distance from A to B. Measure the distance from A to B. A as center, draw the arc. This is the point B1, F1. Measure the distance from A to C. A as center, draw the arc. C1, E1. Measure the distance from A to D. A as center, draw the arc. You get D1. Leave the remaining line with 2H, and here it is possible I am erasing the excess one. Now, draw the projections from the top view to front view. And locus from the previous view. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Mark the respective intersection points. First, A1 dash. Next, projection from B1 and B dash. B1 dash. Projection from C1 and C dash. C1 dash. Projection from D1 and locus from D1 dash. Next, E, E dash, E1 and E dash, E1 dash. Similarly, F1 dash, G1 dash. Join all those with a smooth curve, not with a straight line, as it is a semicircle. Only AG. AG is the edge. Join AG with the straight line, and B, C, D, E, F, G. Join them with a smooth curve. Just you get an elliptical curve. You get an elliptical curve. The second stage is over. What about the third one, final one? Now we should consider the edge inclination. In this case, we should consider the edge inclination. That is, the edge is inclined at 45 degrees to the HP. So what is that edge? The edge AG. AG is inclined at 45 degrees to HP. So redraw this shape. So first, draw a 45 degrees inclination line. Draw a 45 degrees inclination line. And on this 45 degrees inclination line, from XY line at some random distance, maybe at 2 to 3 centimeters, mark point and name it as A2 dash. Mark point and name this point as A2 dash. Measure the distance from A to G. A to G actually change on same as 80 mm ఉంటుంది. So A2 dash నుంచి R. G2 dash. The same distance. A2 నుంచి A నుంచి G2 the distance measure చేసి A2 as center. If you draw an arc, you get the point G2 dash. Now take AG as the fixed points. Measure all the points distance based on the distance from A and G. So measure distance A to B. Measure distance A to B. A as center arc. Measure distance G to B. G as center arc. A to E, G. So previous ఎట్లయితే draw చేసామో in the same way A to E, sorry, A to C, G to C. Next, A to D distance R, G to D distance R. A to E distance R, G to E distance R. So, R throw cheste, you will get the same shape. ఇక్కడ ఏదైతే షేప్ వచ్చిందో the same shape will be drawn here. Same shape with the different orientation with the points B2 dash, C2 dash, D2 dash, E2 dash, F2 dash. So, ఇప్పుడు condition చూడండి. The edge is resting, AG is on vertical plane. The edge is inclined to front view inclination means inclination with HP. The edge is inclined at 45 degrees to the HP. So finally kavalante draw the projections from each and every point. D, E, F, G and mark the respective intersection points. G2 and this is the point A2. A2, G2 first draw cheyandi and mark the respective intersection point and finally you will get a shape like this. In the final top view. If you identify, mark the respective intersection points and join them with a smooth line, you will get an approximate shape like this. So in the previous problems ki same condition, only thing is the variation in shape. Here it is semicircular plane. So semicircular smooth curve kabatti we are not having any points. We are dividing it into 6 equal parts. Suppose if it is a circle problem, we will divide it into 12 equal divisions. Coming to the next problem. Draw the projections of a circular plate. Draw the projections of a circular plate of 30 mm diameter having its end A diameter AB in the HP and end B in the VP. The surface is inclined at 30 degrees to the HP and 60 degrees to the VP. The surface is inclined at 30 degrees to the HP and 60 degrees to the VP. How to draw the projections for this one? How to draw the projections for this one? As the surface is inclined to both the reference planes. So, ఈ కండిషన్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు, so this is the orientation. The final orientation will be like this. We can't see the true shape either in front view or top view. We can't see the true shape either in front view or in top view. So for this problem, we have to take the side view. So when the surface is in this condition, side view as a line, we can see the side view as a line. Front view lono, top view lono true shape కనపడుతుంది. Side view as a line కనిపిస్తుంది. And this is the solved example in textbook. We can also go through the solved example. Step by step sequence is there, and I'm drawing it here. So whenever surface inclination 30, 60 or theta plus phi 90 is given, we have to consider x1, y1 line. We have to consider the x1, y1 line. See, draw just the and first initial view, draw the circle here. Initial view, draw the circle here with one point on, one diameter point on x1. Touch it to draw chain. Such that with the surface is touching on passing through x1 line. Divide this into 12 equal parts. Already division, we have discussed in involutes and also in cycloids. I'm not explaining the process. Just divide this into 12 equal parts. And name it as, let this be 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 dash. 1 dash to 12 dash. Instead of giving letters 1 to 12 number of points, I'm giving it as numbers. You can also give it in terms of numbers also. 1 dash to 12 dash. And its respect to side view. Its respect to side view at last only. When the surface is exactly in the vertical condition. When the surface is exactly in the vertical condition, side view looks as a straight line parallel to vertical plane. Is it or not? When the surface is parallel to vertical plane, front view, true shape, what we have drawn. Side view at last name, a line parallel to vertical plane. So vertical plane ki parallel ga at some random distance, draw a vertical line. Draw a vertical line and project all these points for getting the respective distances. Mark all these points as, what is the first point? 1 double dash, 2 double dash, 3 double dash, 4 double dash, 5 double dash, 6 double dash, 7 double dash, 8 double dash, 9 double dash, 10, 11 and 12 double dash. So side view, draw the straight line. Now apply the condition. As the surface is inclined at 30 to HP and theta to VP, theta plus phi equal to 90 degrees. The rotation can be seen, the angle can be seen only in the side view. So rotate this line. Or horizontal plane inclination enti icharu. The horizontal plane inclination is given as (30 degrees to the HP. So redraw this line with 30 degrees inclination. Redraw this line with 30 degrees inclination. And one more thing, don't draw XY line. Initially, don't draw the xy line. x1 y1 only xy line మాత్రమే డ్రా చేయండి. Only xy line డ్రా చేయండి. Don't draw the x1 y1 line. And ఈ distance around 5 to 6 centimeters. More than that 7 centimeters తీసుకోండి, no problem. But as far as possible distance maintain చేయండి. Now 30 degrees inclination తో draw a line. Draw a line with 30 degrees inclination starting from this base point. ఈ base point నుంచి 30 degrees inclination తో లైన్ డ్రా చేయండి. చేసిన తర్వాత 4R సెంటర్ 4-3 రేడియస్ మెజర్ చేసి 4' to 4'3'. ఈ లైన్ మీద. So this is 3-1', 5-1'. Measure the distance from 4 to 2 or 4 to 6, the same point. E distance so 4R center, draw a line. This is 2-1', 6-1'. Next, 4 to 1 radius. 4 to 1 as radius, 4 as center, R. So the process representation కోసం I'm drawing these arcs. With 4R center, draw the arcs. Mark the respective intersection points. 1-1', 7-1', 8-1', 12-1', 9-1', 11-1', 10-1'. Now, this is the position when the circle is inclined at 30 degrees to HP and 60 degrees to the VP. So, it tenders double dash నుంచి pass అవుతూ draw a vertical line. Now, this is x1 y1 line. So, ఎందుకంటే the problem condition clearly given. One end diameter endpoint is on HP and the other diameter endpoint must be on VP. So, condition draw చేయాలంటే better draw x1 y1 after drawing this inclined line. Then only you get the condition. One diameter endpoint is on HP, other diameter endpoint is on vertical plane. Now, draw the projections from all these to the previous. Projection from 10, 9-11, 8-12, 1-7, 2-6 and 3-5. 2-6 and 3-5. And initial yellow. And 1', 9 and 11. Draw the projection from 9', 11'. 11-1', 9-1'. 12-1', 8-1'. 1-1', 7-1'. 3-1', 5-1', 4-1' remains the same. So draw a smooth curve passing through all this. Draw a smooth curve passing through all this. So initial circle వస్తుంది and second one will get an ellipse like this. Second one will get an ellipse like this. So this is the front view. Top view also. Top view కావాలంటే initial top view the same. Or draw the projections from each and every point to xy line. XY line వైపు ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేసి and transfer these distances as we did in the projection of lines. With O as center and transfer, draw the quarter circles or arcs so that you are transferring this horizontal distance to vertical one. So transfer all the vertical plane distances. Top view. So top view transfer chestada. Draw the projections. Projection from 10 and then. So 10 point must be on vertical plane. Ikkada 10 point dash vasthundi. Next 9 and 11. 12 and 8. 1 and 7. So now mark the points. 10, draw a smooth curve passing through all these points. So actually final గా చూస్తే initial circle and two ellipses.